Good morning everybody, I am Sarah with the trains, and today I'm heading off on another Welsh adventure, starting off at Prestatyn. Our first stop of the day is going to be Flint. One special thing about the first trip of the day is that we're going to be aboard a Class 805 Evero. These have been made by Hitachi for Avanti, and they've not long entered service. I have to check what date they actually entered service, but this is the first time even seeing one that isn't in a video. I'm pleased to report that Windy Miller is still here at Prestatyn.
This station is Flint.
So that was my first ride on an Evero. I would have filmed the inside of the train, but unfortunately it was really rammed and I had trouble even getting a seat. But we have now made it to Flint, which was opened in 1848. This station won Best Station in 2008, so let's have a look round and see what there is here at the best station of 16 years ago. We've got two platforms here at Flint. As you can see, there's some engineering works going on here. Access between the platforms is either a footbridge or a footpath. So let's go take a little walk over the footbridge. Ooh, we have signs about historic Flint, including a picture of Richard II. Out here we've got the station buildings at Flint, which are Grade 2 listed. So we've got a sign here that says the access to between the platforms is over the footbridge, so I think I'd have to go on a bit of a trek to find the level access to the other platform. Unfortunately, I haven't got a heck of a lot of time here at Flint. From looking at maps, the best route would be to go up the road, under the rail bridge, and back down the corresponding road on the other side. We do have waiting rooms here at Flint, and there is also a ticket office. And over there we've got a lovely old-fashioned sign. So in a minute we'll be heading off to our next station of the day, which is Bangor. Just had to go and let the guy in the booking office know that I'm heading off now. Train should be here any second because the train going the other way has just left. Ooh, the announcement's come on.
Croeso adre yn Trafnidiaeth Cymru. Byddwn yn teithio i Caergybi.
Yeah, but with Wendy, she would be driving now.
Yeah, that'd be alright, yeah.
She would be driving down from that road.
That's a long time.
We have now made it to Bangor. This station is the last mainland station between Crewe and Holyhead. It was opened in 1848 and it had a couple of name changes under British Rail, once to Bangor (Carnarvonshire) and Bangor brackets Gwynedd, to differentiate it from other Bangors. Although at one time the station had 4 platforms, following branch line closures in the 60s and 70s, this has now been reduced to just 2. The branch line to Caernarfon closed to goods in 1969 and to passengers in January 1970. Passenger services on the branch line to Amnwoch, part of the Anglesey Central Railway, which connected to the North Wales coastline at Gerwen, ceased in 1964, with freight workings ceasing in 1993. The Red Wharf Bay branch from Holland Arms to Red Wharf Bay had already closed to passengers in 1930 and to freight in 1950. Regular passenger services on the Bethesda branch line ceased in 1951, with a few excursion services running until its complete closure in 1962. Now let's have a little look round and see what's here at Bangor today. We've still got the old station buildings, which are Grade 2 listed. And there's a cafe, a ticket office, and toilets, importantly. And over there, I do indeed see a footbridge. Let's have a crossover and see what's on the other side. Over here we've got a phone box, but importantly, does it work? There's a dial tone, it works. We've got the Snowdon buffet. Sadly, I haven't got time to visit. As you can see, we've got 4 lots of tracks here at Bangor, so that's 2 for stopping trains and 2 through lines. Up there, I do declare, we have a signal box. We do have this disused bay platform also. As if by magic, we're back over here on platform 2, ready for the next train of the day, which is going to take us to Valley.
Travelling to Holyhead.
The next stations will be Valley and PG, which are made by request only, so as I pass through the train, please let me know if you'd like to stop at these stations.
We have made it to Valley. The station here at Valley opened in 1849. There was a goods yard for livestock and some sidings for a nearby corn mill. The station buildings were extended in 1870 and the platforms were extended in 1889. In 1962 there was a siding open nearby to serve the Wilfa nuclear power station. It's to take away the used up fuel from that power station. The power station actually closed in 2015 and the demolition of the reactor buildings and site clearance is scheduled for 2096 to 2101. So unless I live to well over 100, I'm not going to see that happen. Valley Station was closed under the Beaching Acts in 1966, but after a campaign from local residents, it was reopened in 1982. However, the westbound platform and waiting room had been demolished. These were, however, replaced before the station reopened, and we've now got just a bus shelter style waiting shelter, which you'll see in a minute. Ooh, the level crossing is going down. What's coming through? Semaphore signal has gone up. Here at Valley we do still have the old station building, although as you can see that's no longer in use. We've also got a Harrington hump on the Chester-bound platform and that bus shelter I mentioned. The signal box here at Valley is Grade 2 listed. We've got a defibrillator and of course a flappy plastic bin. Access between the platforms is across the level crossing, so let's head over that way. Over here we've got information boards and the station car park. As you can see, the old station building is all boarded up and indeed very, very overgrown. Now let's go and see what Valley has to offer. So this footpath has basically led me where I wanted to go. So over in the background there you've got the usual running lines that go to and from Holyhead, and here we have another line, and this goes to those sidings that I mentioned for the nuclear power station. So as this footpath goes no further, I am going to head back to the station because trespassing on the railways would be incredibly illegal. Oh, in the distance I can hear the level crossing alarm going off. Don't think I'll be able to see anything though. We are now back at the station, ready for our next train, which is going to be the 1333 heading to Birmingham International, but it's only going to take us as far as Tŷ Croes. As you can see down there, the station still has manually operated gates. So we have made it to Tŷ Croes. This station was opened in 1848, originally called Llanfaelog. The station has staggered platforms and there was a signal box added in 1872 which is now Grade 2 listed. There was a small goods yard at the station, but this was sadly closed in 1964. The old station building does still exist, but this is now a private residence rather than being used by the railway. That was supposed to be my train to Rosnega. Unfortunately, I'm trapped on the wrong side of the line. So yes, I did encounter an issue at Tŷ Croes, and that is that the gates got closed really, really early, and I didn't have time to get across the line. So, although Sarah with the trains can't get us to Rosnega, Sarah with the walking can, because it's only about a 40-minute walk, and I've got about an hour until the train I need from Rosnega. So, without further ado, let's head off. And there's the Grade 2 listed signal box. It's a quick turnaround, but it's doable, she said. No need to worry, she said. Let's walk, she said. On the plus side, this way I get to see cows. The end is in sight. We have made it to Rosnega. Just in time to see that 158 passing through. I've somehow made it to Rosnega with about 22 minutes to spare. Rosnega is a bit unusual in that it was opened in 1907, which is quite a bit after most of the other stations on this line. It was closed between 1917 and 1919 as a cost-cutting measure during the First World War. There were no sidings or goods yard here at Rosnega, and the original buildings were actually just wooden. The concrete structures were only added in 1953. The only one that remains, though, is on the Chester-bound platform. The station master's house here does still exist, but it is now a private residence. And with that brief little history about Rosnega, let's have a little look round and see what there is here today. So we've just got the two platforms here at Rosnega. As I mentioned, we do have that 1953 concrete structure on the Chester-bound platform, although that is no longer in use. Both platforms also have the good old bus shelter style waiting shelter, and platform 1 has cycle parking. We've got the dot matrix displays, and I'm happy to see that my train to Holyhead is on time. Both platforms also have a hump. Access between the platforms is on the road. You have to go under the railway bridge, so let's take a wander over there. Now this is technically level access, but this is quite steep, so I don't think it's actually classed as wheelchair accessible. And up the top here we have got a very worn British Rail sign. After that very brief visit under the rail bridge and up to platform number 1, we're heading back to platform 2 to go to Holyhead. I have been to Holyhead before, and I'll pop a little link up there to that video. I'm just going there because I need to do a little bit of a turnaround so that I can go to Abigail and Pensarn. And may I just say, thank goodness for Sarah with the walking, because I really want to get a hot chocolate at Holyhead. Time for a very quick visit to the passenger terminal for the toilet and hot drink, hopefully.
Next stop is Bangor. Thank you.
I am now at Llandudno Junction, waiting for my next train, which is going to take me to Abergele and Pensarn.
Croeso ar drên trafnidiaeth Cymru. Byddwn yn teithio I maes awyr Manceinion.
Welcome on board Transport for Wales. We will be travelling to Manchester Airport.
We have now made it to Abergele and Pensarn. This station was opened in 1848 as Abergele. The and Pensarn aspect was supposedly added in 1883 when there was rebuilding at the station. The station was originally served by loops off the main line in both directions. The eastbound loop was removed in the late 1980s and the main line realigned to pass through the platform. The westbound loop remained in use until early 2017 when it was decommissioned. It has now been lifted and the platform extended out to reach the remaining main line. The signal box here was decommissioned in 2018 when colour light signalling was commissioned between Colwyn Bay and Shotton. Sadly, there was a rail disaster here at Abergele and Pensarn. On the 20th of August 1868, the Irish mail train collided with some goods wagons between Abergele and Llandudno. There were 33 people killed in the accident, and that made it the worst railway accident in Britain at that time. Now we've had that little bit of station history, let's have a look at what's here at Abergele and Pensarn today. As you can see, we've got two platforms here at Abergele and Pensarn. In between those two platforms we have got the signal box. We've got the good old station sign with the station name in Welsh and English. Here on platform 1 we've got an absolutely enormous Harrington hump. We do still have a station building over here, although that's not in use by the railways anymore. In this building we now have a benefits advice shop on Monday afternoons. And down here we've got a lovely white Abergele and Pensarn bench and some pictures of Abergele and Pensarn from yesteryear. I wish more stations did this. At access between the two platforms is up over the road bridge, so let's go and take a little walk over there. Over here we've got the old station building, which now appears to be used by Abergele Community Action. I like that we've still got a bit of the Evero Trains Wales turquoisey blue colour. As you can see on the platform, we have got planters, a lovely bus shelter with a defibrillator and departure screen. We also have a ticket machine and an irregular looking help point. Now I've not got long until my next train, so I'm going to take a little walk back over to platform number 1. Just got a little bit distracted by this outdoor gym thing we've got on the promenade. Now back over on platform number 1, just waiting for my last train of the day, which is going to take me to Prestatyn, where we're going to finish this video. It has come to my attention that although this station is technically step free, that doesn't mean it's totally accessible. The ramps that go up and down to the platforms are very steep, so that would cause issues for anybody who uses a wheelchair particularly, or possibly any other mobility aid. Just want to take a quick minute to say thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and maybe drop a comment, and consider subscribing if you want to see more from me. As always, extra special thank you to the people who support me on YouTube and on Patreon, and everybody who donates to me on Ko-fi as well. Patrons and channel members, your names are going to be on screen in just a moment. I'll see you all next time for another railway adventure. Bye. As always, an extra special shout out to all of the patrons and channel members who are listed on screen now, as well as all the people who donate to me on Ko-fi. You really do keep this channel going. Now here's a couple more trains for your enjoyment. Some nice honks to end the video there.